Welcome to the 13th Man podcast. I am Abraham Abhishek. In this episode, I speak to Saqib Zulfiqar, leg spinning all-rounder who plays for the Dutch men's cricket team. Saqib was there in the team and on the pitch actually when Netherlands beat Scotland at the ODI World Cup qualifiers in Zimbabwe on July 6. And that's July 6, 2023, in case you're listening to this podcast well into the future. And Saqib will likely be there at the Cricket World Cup as part of the Dutch team, which takes place in India in October-November 2023. I spoke to Saqib a couple of weeks after the qualifiers, around 3 months or so ahead of the World Cup. So the conversation was mostly about the qualifiers and about the World Cup preparations. And of course, we also spoke about Saqib's father and his triplet brothers, who are all cricketers. So Saqib, for starters, I want to ask you something which is still fresh in everybody's minds. The World Cup qualifications, of course. You were there at the point when we qualified. You were right in the middle. You scored the run which tied the scores, which leveled the scores. So could you talk a bit about that? What was that moment like? How did it feel?
Yeah, it is still almost unreal. It was a great feeling to be out there with Bas in a difficult situation. Pitch was getting harder and harder. And we just tried to take it deep and have confidence in our own shots. And so glad to be out there at the end and made sure we could win it. So it was a great feeling. And when you think back about it, it's like you were really in the zone. So for me still to think back, oh, this is what happened. I was so focused and you were so in the zone to make sure you win that match that afterwards you're like, well, what happened? What just happened? And I think for everyone it was like, did we really qualify for the World Cup? And it's like, yes, we did. So it was almost an unreal feeling, yeah.
And before the match, how much of a chance were you giving yourself as a team?
I think we were very positive. Obviously, we just had that great match against the West Indies. That helped a lot with the confidence we had in the group, and it grew even more. Like, okay, we can do this. We are good enough. And I think we have shown also in the Super League that we are able to compete against the best teams in the world. So that gave us a lot of confidence. And then obviously they made like 270. And halfway we're like, okay, we can still do this. And then Ryan Cook, our coach, came in the dressing room and he showed us a whiteboard like, okay guys, after halfway you need to be at this stage and this is how we're going to do it. So actually that gave a very clear plan to all of the players and the confidence like, yeah, we can do this. So I think there was belief in the team all the time.
Tell us something about the West Indies match, because that was some crazy shit, right?
Yeah, that was amazing. The West Indies match, they made like 374, and still I think that is what made this group so special. The belief in the group was unreal. Like everyone kept believing, and I think you need to have that in the match, especially when you play against West Indies, big boys. You watch them on TV when you grow up, say like, oh, they're good. But then actually you think, oh yeah, we're also good. So we can beat them as well. And to have that feeling and thought, I think that then you can show you can really do it. You have to believe. And I think that was in the team.
It seems that this team enjoys chasing because we have chased down a few big totals recently. And the chases in this tournament reminded me of the 2014 T20 World Cup, where we had a stiff target against Ireland. I mean, the target itself for the match was not very stiff, but to qualify, we had to chase it down in 13 or 14 overs or something, but we still did it. So it seems like the team likes chasing. Not all teams like chasing. Yeah. Is that said out aloud that we are the team that likes to chase? And how do you develop the mentality to chase down big totals as a team?
Yeah, I don't think we are really in like we want to chase every match, but I think we have a lot of calm heads in the team and a lot of confidence. If you look at Max O'Dowd, Vikram Singh, Vikram is also a young player, 20 years old, but he's so calm. And I think everyone has that in us and the belief that okay, if we know what we need to get, we can get it, because we believe in the ability and the skills we've put together as a team to make sure we chase that score down. But I don't think it's like we talk about it before matches or we want to chase or anything. Obviously, the last match against Scotland, we were like, yeah, it will be easier if we're going to chase this match because you know how much you can get. So especially in those matches, do or die matches, sometimes it's nicer if you need to have a certain run rate to chase it down.
So you mentioned that this is a team of some very calm people. Who are some of the players that are not calm?
Not calm. Wow. I have to think about it. Not sure. I think everyone is really calm when I've seen them. I think that's also part of the preparation we've had. Like, so obviously you play club cricket as well and other match, and then you think, oh well, you throw your wicket away. But here it's not like that. Everyone is so focused and they're doing their own thing. Like one of our coaches, Heino Koen, says, be the best version of yourself. And that played also a very big part for me, to be that and make sure because you've been there for a reason. That's why you've been selected, because you've done certain things right. And I think if everyone does that, then you get a really strong team.
Tell us something about the qualification for this World Cup in India in October, November, which we will talk more about in a moment. The qualification process happened over a 3-4 year period through the ODI Super League. So could you tell us something about that? Because you joined the team towards the fag end of that league.
Yeah.
So what was that like as the team was preparing and playing all those matches against some very strong opposition? What was the thinking? Did you already have your eyes on the World Cup? Were you already thinking about the World Cup qualification tournament? Did you visualize and talk about it from time to time?
Yeah, not really. I think we were really in that moment as well. So being there in the Super League just helped us to compete against the best teams in the world. And hopefully we can do that more in the future, because I think that's a really big part of Dutch cricket to get better. We have to play against the bigger teams to get better, so you can evolve your skills in certain situations. You know what to do. So I think that's been a great preparation for us. Maybe we didn't know at that time it would be a great preparation, but it actually is. Because for 3-4 years you play against the teams you're also going to play in the World Cup. Like West Indies, we played in the qualification, like Sri Lanka. Like if you play those teams more often, you will get better. So that's a really big part. So I think at that time we didn't think like, oh, this is the preparation for the World Cup, because I was still busy with, okay, this match we have to win this match, and then we will look ahead again. But when you look back at it, like you said, I think it's very true. It's one of the best preparation we could have had.
So what do you think about the fact that the Super League is now scrapped? And also the fact that the MCC, which is this super small cricket club in London, England.
Yeah.
It is a very small club, but it is the body that has written the laws of cricket and seems to have an incredible amount of influence on the direction of the game. What do you think about the fact that on the heels of the ODI Super League being scrapped, on top of that, they have also recommended that 2027 onwards, less bilateral ODIs should be played?
Yeah, one word comes up to mind, and that's disappointing. For me, that's really disappointing. Like teams as us, Scotland, we need to play a lot of matches. And if you want to grow the brand of cricket in the world, you need to play more matches. Even if you look at the qualification tournament now of the 2020s, where Italy almost beat an Ireland. Who would have thought that? And I think if you play more against these guys, also for Italy, also for the other teams, Austria, Germany, they will get better as well. And I think for me that's the coolest part, to make cricket as big as a sport as possible in the world. That's also one of my goals, to grow that in Holland as well. To make sure the cricket is a good sport in Holland. You can live with it. You don't need to work beside. You can just focus on it. So for me to do that, you need to play more matches. Obviously have the funding to do that as well, so you can get more professional.
You mentioned growing up being a cricketer in the Netherlands. It's not the most lucrative thing.
Yeah.
You obviously had all the different options when you were younger and were in the process of deciding what sport to take up. There's football, hockey, everything else really.
Yeah.
Why did you choose cricket?
For me, I think why we started, and I say we because I'm a triplet, so all of us, we play cricket, and that's because of my dad. He's from Pakistan, and he came to Holland, and then he played like 80 matches for Holland as well. So we just grew up with it. But having said that, we could have also chosen for soccer, because we didn't have to play cricket. Also now, when I talk to my wife or to other friends, and they have kids, like if they play cricket once, they're never gonna stop. because the sport is so beautiful. You need to be physically very fit, but also mentally. Your concentration part and a lot of hand-eye coordination. So for me, it's like the ultimate sport, where you need to have all the skills to perform well.
Do you often find yourself in a situation where you have to explain to your friends or to your colleagues what cricket is?
Yeah, all the time, all the time. So for me, I love to explain it, obviously, but that's for me again a sign. Okay, why don't they know it? So, and that's because it's not big enough in Holland and it's not on TV. Like we qualified for the World Cup, and there hasn't been a lot of exposure in the Netherlands, I think, which is also a bit disappointing for me as well. Because, like I said, one of my goals is actually to grow cricket in Holland and in the world, to have as many players play cricket as possible. Yeah.
So, you are going to the World Cup, as we know, and we have been talking about. And, it is the World Cup.
Yeah.
It doesn't get bigger than that.
Mm.
So, how is preparation going? And what kind of preparation is going on? If you could tell us something about that.
Yeah, it's like a dream to go to the World Cup. So everyone in the team is so stoked, and also all the coaching staff and everyone involved. It's a really good opportunity, and we are preparing as any other tour. We're gonna go and look at our skills, playing obviously on different pitches. Maybe it's gonna spin a bit more, so we're gonna focus on that, having our options ready. So I think that's the most important point, and obviously being consistent. So we need to have the skills of also all the other bigger teams if we want to compete. So fielding, we have to be the best fielding side, and obviously control the things we can control.
We already know the fixtures. We know what the conditions will be like in India at the time, in terms of the pitches, the sizes of the grounds, and all that. And there are players and support staff in the team who have been there before and played in those conditions. So does preparation at this stage take into account all those specifics? Are you guys preparing with those in mind?
Yeah, obviously we have our own certain skills we want to focus on, but then there's also the bigger picture. And I think we're very lucky to have Ryan Cook as a head coach. He's been at the IPL last year as well. So he will know all the conditions, and we're gonna make personal plans for every player actually to work on, and then also have a team specific training. Yeah.
Saqib, an all-rounder that bowls leg spin, is ideal for Indian conditions. So are you expecting to make the starting 11 in a lot of the matches?
I'm really looking forward to it, and I think it's the best place as a spinner to be there. I think it will turn a lot, and hopefully it will grip also. So for me, it's a great opportunity to even be in India. Yeah, it's a dream to play cricket there. Yeah.
How would you describe the style of cricket that this particular team plays? We associate certain styles of playing cricket with certain teams, like the great West Indies team of the 70s played in a certain way, fast bowler centric and scoring quickly. Then there is this term going around baseball, which is a very extreme way of playing red ball cricket. So how would you describe the Dutch way of playing cricket in the context of this particular team?
For me, it's being positive. And that's positive with your mindset, it's positive with your shots, it's positive with your culture. Maybe you've seen how many tours we've ran. And I think that's the brand of cricket we play. We want to work hard and be able to run as much as possible and be positive in that. And if you have that towards the outside as well, it will give you more opportunities. So for me, if I can describe it in one word, it's going to be positive cricket.
Going ahead, of course, right in front of you, there is this big thing called the Cricket World Cup. But beyond that, in the medium and long term, what are some of your goals as a cricketer, as an elite athlete?
Yeah, for me, obviously, it's to be part of the World Cup team, firstly, and then win matches. And yeah, obviously, it's a dream to become world champion. So you have to dream big. So hopefully we can do that now or in the future. I'm not sure, but that's one of my dreams. And also playing tournaments like IPL or Big Bash or PCL. I think that's also a very big dream of me. So hopefully we can do well as a team, and I can also contribute to that and play myself in the picture to those leagues.
Saqib, tell us something about your dad's reaction to the qualification when you came back from the tournament. And ever since, has he been on your case as you prepare for the World Cup? As a subcontinent dad and as a former cricketer himself, is he intense about your cricket?
Yeah. Yeah, it is very funny. I called him and he's still like, and he's like a subcontinent dad. He's like, you can always do better. He's like, why do you miss so many balls? So it was really funny, and I think that's, yeah, my dad is also a coach and has helped me a lot, but also my brothers and a lot of other youngsters in Holland because he's so passionate about it. And obviously after that he was really proud, and he was just very proud that I could be in the team and yeah, hopefully go to India as well and perform well. Yeah.
And what about your brothers?
Yeah, also very proud. I played them last weekend again. So we play with 4 brothers in one team, 1 triplet, obviously 2 brothers, and then 1 older brother as well. So it just feels great to be there with them, and also they're supporting me. So it's great to have other brothers who play cricket as well. Yeah.
So that was Saqib. If you want to follow the fortunes of the Dutch cricket team at the World Cup, go to kncb.nl. That's the website of the Dutch Cricket Board. You'll find there links to their Twitter, Instagram, and everything else. Thanks for listening.